Why, hello there. Hey, what is up, everyone? Me llamo Arecus, aka Aethel Wolf, and welcome to the Wolf's Den. What is up, baby? How we doing today? So, Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, first of all, hi. Hello. I know it's been a little bit since I've uploaded a video. Now, if y'all don't know why I've been gone, and maybe you want a little bit more info as to why I'm back, go check out the Discord. My Discord, yes, that's where I explain a little bit more. And if you're new here, you're just here to talk about some Pokemon Legends Arceus, well, hi. Welcome. Let's get into it. So, first of all, let me lead with this. I already made a review on this game. If you want a full in-depth review on everything that this game is about, go click on the video that is popping up here. In this video, I'm going to be specifically covering the things that I didn't cover in that review because I had the biggest pair of hype goggles for this game. I was blurred by the excitement of a new Pokemon game that was different. Because of that, I feel like playing through this game again, actually completing the Pokemon Dex, getting Arceus, like there were a couple of things that I have now been able to open my eyes to about this game that I didn't on my first time playing it. Now, considering that this game has almost been out for a whole year, I thought it was about time to jump back into it and give it another try. I loved it on my first run, but I don't feel like I gave it as much. Let me give you this little bit of analogy. The first time that I played through this game, I streamed the whole thing live on Twitch. And while live streaming a game is awesome and a lot of people are able to do that and fully immerse themselves into a game and have no problem with it, I also enjoy live streaming, but playing the game live is not the same as just being able to play it alone on my own time. This is pretty much what it's like. Let's say there's a girl I really like. I want to get to know her a little bit, and here's the key difference. I can either A, hang out with her with a group of friends, which is still nice. I still get to know her, I still get to talk with her. But it's not just the two of us. There's still a lot of other people around. We're all kind of hanging out in a group, and maybe you want to make some moves. Maybe you want to get to know her a little bit more, but it's a little bit harder because there's other people around us. Or I could go on ask her on a date, go on a special one-on-one date and say, hey, I really like you and I'd like to get to know you on a more personal level. You see, in both scenarios, you're still hanging out with this person who you like, but in one way, you get to know the person in a little bit more of a deeper, more intimate way than when you're hanging out with the person and others. So this is the treatment that I gave Legends Arceus. The first time I played it, I had a great time, and you guys can hear me talk about them in my review. And while I did have little glimpses here and there where I played it off stream, the majority of the game was played on stream. So no, I personally do not think like I gave this game the personal, romantic, one-on-one time that it deserved. Obviously, we are all extremely excited for the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games that are gonna come out. Literally, as of today, they come out in like 7 days. Holy smokes. From the time of me making this video, not me posting the video. But I've been in this crazy mood for Pokemon. I've been Pokemon hype and I cannot wait. So I said, I want to jump into a Pokemon game. I hadn't played the remakes for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I actually never completed Pokemon Sword and Shield. But out of all of the games, I said, okay, I don't want to play a more so mainstream game because Scarlet and Violet looks like they're going to have gym badges and they're going to have a little bit more of a normal Pokemon experience. I put quotation marks because clearly they're changing up the game by it being more open world and having a lot of choices. I'm so excited. But you get what I'm saying. I said, I'm gonna play Pokemon Legends Arceus because it is not a regular Pokemon game where you get badges and you fight different Pokemon trainers who just see you and go, oh, there you are, let's battle. So I ended up going for Legends Arceus. So I start playing the game and I'm like, wow, holy smokes. First 5 hours of me playing this game, not in one sitting, but the first 5 to 7 hours of me playing this game, I had an amazing time. I'm running around, I'm catching my Pokemon, I'm filling out my Pokedex, and I'm just like, yes, this is what I love about this game. I will say this, I had to start a new game. I was probably gonna do this anyways, but I had to start a new game because my Switch got stolen while I was on vacation in Costa Rica. Yeah. I'm gonna be making a video on that. If I already made a video on that, look for it down in the description or just go find it on my channel. It's one where I do an unboxing for this beautiful thing right here. Yeah, I talk about my Switch getting stolen more in that video, but anyways, with my Switch getting stolen, all my saved content got stolen too, so new game for Noe. I'd say probably one of the toughest losses other than the Switch and all my games getting stolen was the save files that I lost. Not so much because of the Pokemon that I caught. While yes, those are important to me and it sucks that I no longer have those specific Pokemon that I caught, what sucks the most is that during my stream, I had some awesome viewers trade Pokemon with me. I valued those Pokemon so freaking much, and the fact that I don't have those anymore So anywho, I have to start a new game. So for the first 5 to 6 hours of this game, I was having an absolute blast. Again, I was remembering why I love this game so much and how I actually liked that it was so different from a main series game. The fast pacedness of it, being able to just, again, how good it feels to go and end the day with a professor and see my Pokedex get filled out with all the little check marks. Like, it's just satisfying. It feels good. After that is when I realized, okay, nostalgia hype goggles off. Even though the first time I played this game was amazing, now that I'm playing it on my own, without anyone else watching, without me having any other way to judge this game, how am I feeling about it? I realized even though I absolutely loved Legends Arceus, I need to talk about some of the things that was missing for me, was lacking for me from other Pokemon experiences. I would say that the first one is the lack of Pokemon trainer battles. And I think I maybe hit on this a little bit in my bigger review, but I rarely ever, I think there's only like 1 or 2 fights, maybe 3, where you actually go against another Pokemon trainer that has a full team of 6 Pokemon. And while I know that's also not super common in all the main series games until the end of the game, it's okay because as you're playing through the game, you have these challenges where you get to test your Pokemon. And with those challenges, that is when I grow the most attached to my Pokemon team. I found myself being less attached to my team, even though, again, I love that I could, like, you know, take them out of the Pokeballs and look at them and be like, oh, they're all so cute. There weren't any challenges when it came to Pokemon battles. And that is something that I found myself really craving. I got to this moment of realization when I said, okay, cool, I have this really cool stacked beefy team because I've been grinding out a lot. And I do also want to add, because this playthrough I gave myself the specific task to complete the Pokedex, before moving on to the new area, I made sure to catch every Pokemon in that specific area that I could catch and evolve it to its final stage, while having each stage up to level 10. I mean, as much as I could, right? By the time I was moving on from area to area, some of the initial magic of playing this game was like, what Pokemon are gonna show up? What's the next mount that I'm gonna unlock? What's the next thing at least that's gonna surprise me? Because there was no challenge in this game. Even the first time playing through, some of the alpha, the Lord Pokemon were really cool to go against. I never really personally found it to be a challenge.
Except for Arceus. That god of a Pokemon was such a pain in the butt to try and freaking get. I never struggled with any of the other ones, but Arceus took me a while. The issue is, which I guess it makes sense, it's the last Pokemon in the game, but you have to go out of your way by catching every single Pokemon before you can go against it. So even then, a lot of people are probably going to miss out on that challenge, kind of like how I did initially. But that is not what I'm getting at here.
There wasn't no next thing to challenge my Pokemon team. So even though I had this really cool Pokemon team that I had a lot of fun catching, the lack of challenges and the lack of Pokemon trainer battles, that's what made me realize on the second run, yeah, it is missing. And that's something that I did not realize on my first time around. And this is obviously coming from the old time, you know, OG Pokemon lover inside of me, because if I hadn't have played all those other Pokemon games, I maybe wouldn't have had that expectation. I would have loved Legends Arceus for what it is, and I still did, and I still do, but you get what I'm saying.
Although with that, ironically, I also want to add, if I hadn't played all the other Pokemon games, I wouldn't have appreciated how different this one was.
This little part of me that says, I wish there were more Pokemon trainer battles, it's just because that's how it's always been. Okay, so that's one whole thing. I found it harder to be attached to my team, even if I nicknamed them, because we never went through any struggles or challenges together. Point number 2 that I missed. The battling in this game, it makes it really hard to be strategic. There is some level of strategy to it and knowing when to do an agile style, knowing when to do a strong style, but this game feels like you have Godzilla versus King Kong throwing massive punches at each other. One person's gonna hit the other one and it's gonna hurt a lot, and then the other person's gonna hit the other one and it's gonna hurt a lot, and you know, whoever has the slight advantage is gonna win in that. This happened when I was underleveled and when I was overleveled, especially if I happen to have Pokemon that was weak to a certain typing. Again, it did not matter how overleveled I was. If they used a strong style move against me, that was gonna be pretty much it. So when I was watching all these other reviews that people were making, talking about how like the battling in it kind of sucked, and even though the mechanic was cool, it took away a lot of strategy, I didn't really feel that my first time around. That's why I want to make this video. I want to make this video to complement that review. You know, I think it's important to add this in there. I agree. I think that the battling in this game really need some more. I love the fact that they tried doing something different, agile, strong style. Please continue to try and add these different mechanics. I love that. So those are the two biggest things, the two biggest things that I wish I could have talked about in my first review, but I didn't. So coming back to this game almost 1 year later, let's just throw that in there. Add that. Like, consider this a part 2 to that review. Now, how was it actually going through and completing the Pokedex? Fun fact, this is the first Pokemon game that I've truly ever done this without cheating, I guess you could say. When I was younger, I had tried doing this with a couple of Pokemon games, but at that point I had an action replay, and we all know how much fun you can have with it. I would say that this is the first game that I truly was able to complete the Pokedex all by myself, catching every Pokemon all by myself, and getting each of the research tasks up to level 10, which again, makes completing the Dex even harder. While in other Pokemon games, all you gotta do is catch them. Here you gotta catch them and have them do stuff, or have them watch them do stuff. Again, a cool mechanic, but definitely made completing the Dex taking a little bit longer, right? This is, again, this is completely biased, but I'm gonna say it. I hate having to go collect things, collectibles, and going out and having to search for things. You know, that's, unless you make collectibles extremely fun and easy like you did in Spider-Man, where each collectible just adds something to the lore of the hero or the character or the game, and you tell me exactly where they are, or at least at some point you let me unlock something that's gonna tell me exactly where it is. I don't like collectibles. And this game luckily only had 2. One that was not bad at all, which was the Unknown. Think, oh, this is something that I did not criticize in the first review, and I will toss it in here. We're trying to get the Unknown. If you're trying to throw a Pokeball at something that's not just a Pokemon that's right in front of you, it makes it extremely annoying. Whether it bumps off a tree, whether it bumps off a rock, whether you're trying to get one Unknown that's just in a very specific place, and even though it's right in front of you, you think you just have to shoot it straight up and it's gonna hit. The way that the feather ball works, it's just really weird and a little bit infuriating, just a little bit. Sorry, tiny little side tangent. Moving past that. The Unknown weren't too bad because there was only like 28 of them. I feel like that, at least it felt like 15 to 30 minutes while just watching a guide on YouTube trying to get to all the locations. That wasn't too bad at all. I didn't even want to touch the Spiritomb one. I know how many of those little wisps I had seen, and even if I was going to follow an interactive map and just going through and gathering all these collectibles, it felt like a huge, unnecessary chore that added nothing to the game. And it sucks that for me to complete the Dex, I had to do this. I could not get around it. Or could I? You know who you are. You know who you are, and I respect, love, and it just thank you for everything. Why? Because my friend was able to just trade the Spiritomb with me. I was able to get the research task up to level 10 and send it right back to him without having to find all the freaking wisps. I was also able to do that with like some of the other legendaries like Tornadus and Namarus. But here, let me add that, because yes, I want to address this. I did say, oh, this is the first time that I completed a Pokemon Dex without cheating. I didn't cheat. Does it feel like cheating? Yes. But here is why I'm not going to count it as cheating. Everything else, Palkia, Dialga, like all the other Pokemon and the 200 and something, all of those, I still did all by myself. So, I want to add that in there because by the time I completed the Pokedex and I got everything to level 10, there was a fear of mine. Something that got my friend kept hooked on this game was hunting for shiny Pokemon. I had seen him do it. I kind of tried doing it with a couple mass outbreaks, and I really wanted to do it myself. Now here's the thing. Even though I didn't have the shiny charm, my friend told me that before he got the shiny charm, he managed to get 2 rows full of shinies. And everywhere on the internet, they talk about how this is the easiest game to shiny hunt in. So I'm like, all right. Even though my first playthrough, I didn't come across a single shiny. Unless I missed one, I did not come across a single full odds shiny. And yes, I did do a couple mass outbreaks, but I never did. What up, Wolfpack? Editor Noe here. So y'all may have noticed within these last couple of seconds how jank the audio keeps progressively getting. That is because as I was recording this video, I had no idea, but the mic battery on my camera was dying. By the time I finished this video, the mic was completely dead, and I remember pooping my pants a little bit and being like, crap,
how much did I actually get to record and how much, you know, has I've been recording with the mic dead. The good thing is it was just like my closing remarks and my last little bit of rant when it comes to shiny hunting. So rather than you guys hearing that horrible hissing sound in the background, you're just gonna have to deal with this. So here are my closing remarks. I was so excited to start shiny hunting in this game, and that's why I wanted to complete the Pokedex. By the time I completed the Pokedex, I was already Legends Arceus out. It took me about 60 hours to complete the dex from starting a new game. So by the time I had the shiny charm, I wasn't even really in the mood to keep playing, as well as the fact that I had already beaten the game. So I was like, well, at this point, what's the point of having these shinies if I can't really play the game with them? And this pretty much goes with what I was talking about earlier in the video. I want to have my team of Pokemon that I can grow close with and attached to. If there's no challenges, if there's no things for me to do with my Pokemon, they just kind of become trophies. So while yes, I think it's still cool to get shinies because of how rare they are, and I get to, like, you know, catch a shiny post game and put it up on my trophy with post game shinies, but I want to get a Pokemon that's shiny that I can actually use throughout the game. That for me is like top tier. That's the best way to use a shiny Pokemon. I do love that Game Freak is doing things to help increase our odds without necessarily having the shiny charm. For example, in Let's Go Eevee, being able to do those catch combos to decrease the odds from 4,000 to like 300 something without the shiny charm, that's what I'm talking about. Or the mass outbreaks in this game. I know that once again, even though you don't have the shiny charm, if you go to a mass outbreak, there will be increased chances of getting a shiny, and that is freaking amazing. There is so many more things I want to say about shinies, but let's just make one thing clear. I'm not saying overall make it easier to get shinies. I'm just saying give me more opportunities to get shinies throughout the main game without necessarily needing the shiny charm. I will make a video on this later. There's such a huge rant I can go on, but for now we're leaving it at that. Alright everyone, well that pretty much does it for this review. I do want to stress this review isn't meant to replace my first one. It is meant to be added to my first review. I watched my first review and everything in that video I still felt. That all still stands good on its own. This is a part 2. This is, okay, what's it like reviewing this game after you've played it 1 year later for a second time while going out of your way to complete things that you didn't on your first run. That's what this review is about. But alright my people, thank you all so much for watching. Again, sorry about the whole little audio shebang, but I appreciate y'all sticking it out, staying here to the end. I appreciate and love every single one of you, Wolfpack. As most of you know, I am still in the search of a job and I'm in the process of moving to a different state, so that's taking a while, but I wanted to get this video out because I love my YouTube channel. I love the community that we have here and I want to keep doing this. You know, ultimately this is still the goal, to do this for a living, but I'm currently going through a time in my life where, hey, I gotta work a little bit harder to get there, and I have to put this a little bit on pause. So it was great coming back to make this video, and I hope to be back soon. Thank you all once again so much for watching. I love you, Wolfpack, and I will see you all next time.